Hi, my name is Margot. Finally putting a face to the name. Yay! I started out this semester, 8 weeks course, whatever we're going to call it, doing what you'd asked us to do, which was to come up with some goals that we'd like to accomplish. The goals that I chose were to broaden my skills, to work on my patient listening, and to learn to better filter my facial expressions, my nonverbals, to kind of help keep a better check on those, I guess is what I'll say. I do strive to live my life by the greatest commandment that we are called to live, which is to love. Which is, I think, incredibly important in communication. Well, it's important in anything, relationships, anything, but I think that is incredibly important in communication. Your verbals, nonverbals, so much of what you do can portray that love and respect you have for others. It was probably week 2, I think it was, that I noticed I had more work to do than I thought I did. I thought I had a pretty good handle on communication, and I didn't. I remember sitting at night typing my journal and just crying. Not so much that my communication was lacking in love, but that I was really needing to get to the root of my communication hurdles. I needed to learn more about what was causing those roadblocks for me, and how I could better understand techniques behind some communication. And I think that's kind of where the real growth happened for me. The first goal that I said was to broaden my skills. I don't think that there was a point in this journey where I was like, woohoo, there's a new skill, let's put it in my toolbox. I think it was more of polishing skills that I had, refining skills that I had, dusting off ones that I got a little lazy on and left in the toolbox. Left them in the bottom there. It was kind of just bringing to surface and bringing to the forefront of your brain to consciously be aware of these. The second goal that I had was to work on my patient listening. I struggle with my patience, especially in conversations. I have people in my life. There's one particular person I can think of at church who is a real detailed speaker. I have come to learn that I am a primarily action-oriented person or listener, action-oriented listener. I like things brief, to the point, concise. And I've always known that piece about me. I just didn't know how to name. Go figure. So, but this person at church is a very detailed conversationalist. And so they like to set the scene. They like to elaborate everything and to give you all of those details that they find important that to me is really hard. But knowing about the 4 different listening styles, I think really helps personally in a couple of ways. The first one is it allows me to be a little flexible, to understand the different styles, and when I need to change my listening, I may be in situations where action-oriented is not appropriate. I need to buckle down, and I need to actively listen, and I need to focus, on one of the other styles. I do know that also it is important when it comes to communicating with that person. So this person at church, where I may be able to say something in 3 or 4 words and I think perfectly get my point across, this person may not get it. I may need to elaborate a little more because they are not action oriented. They are someone that needs the detail. They are someone that needs a little more of the picture painted. Not everybody can see inside my head, and I think that's a good thing. I have really bad ADHD, so just because I like things short and to the point does not mean that I have a lack of respect or love for whoever it is that I am talking with. It just means that I have a problem of my own, which is I lack the ability to keep attention and focus for very long. This is something that I have been working on my entire life. My goal 3 was to learn to better rein in my facial expressions or to filter. One of my favorite all-time quotes ever is by Francis of Assisi, and that is to preach the gospel always and when necessary use words, which is, I think, all encompassing of nonverbal communication. It is to live as we are called to live and to share the message of hope by actions. And when you need to use words, watching my parents get divorced and then meet their spouses, get married, there was a lot of triangulation. A lot. I learned at a very young age through this that actions speak louder than words, that our nonverbal communication can scream when we're not even opening our mouths. I do have a face, I have a personality that does not allow me to hide anything. There is never a doubt as to what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, my opinion. I am pretty well an open book when it comes to just, reading my face. I am aware of this, and it is something that I do consciously work on. Just kind of paying attention. Okay, what am I saying right now? Non-verbally, what am I presenting right now? I do, like I said earlier, have an issue with patience. One of those things I have an issue with as well is non-efficiency. I hate inefficiency. We've all been there. You're at the store, you're at the restaurant, wherever you are, and they're just checking me out, like with the speed of a sloth. And you're just kind of like, that if I could just do this really quick, if you do 1, 2, 3, that'll just get it so much quicker and much more efficient. You'll get this line through. But I have to rein that in. That is an internal issue that I have. That is something that I work on pretty hard. And it's not fair for me. My internal frustration does not need to be presented on my face. One of the things that we learned in class, and one of the things that is incredibly important to anyone, I would hope, is your integrity. Your integrity is everything. When your values and your actions don't line up, that is kind of a lack of integrity. I strive really, really hard to have my actions, my verbal, nonverbal, reflect what my heart is saying, reflect what my values are. So that frustration that I may have with inefficiency, with patience, with the details, it's not fair and it's not right for me to make someone feel bad with my nonverbals, with my face, because I don't know what they are in life. I don't know what their struggles are. I don't know where they are. I don't know what they're dealing with. They may just be having a really crappy day. And it's not my place to judge that. I need to keep my whole self in check. What I do know is that communication is an ever-evolving process. It is a continuing growing, changing process. One of the things that I do at night before I go to bed is, when you're saying your prayers, is help me to be a better person tomorrow than I am today. Always constantly striving to be your best self. And I think that goes well for communication as well. I think that we continually need to try to grow and to learn and to evolve our communication styles. Help me to be a better communicator tomorrow than I was today. I hope that I can take these skills that I've learned this last 8 weeks, the ones that I've polished off, the ones that I've tweaked a little bit, and the ones that I found sitting in the bottom of the box, and consciously use those going forward in my life. I hope that I can continue to grow and continue to learn and continue to be a better communicator, which is so important. So I thank you so much for all of your time. I thank you for your patience, huge patience. And I thank you for your insights, the comments and the suggestions and the journals and the forums. I thank you for your feedback. This has been an incredibly enriching class for me. So many blessings to you, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Be well.